Hi, let's suppose you have a son at home. He used to be this cute little boy, but now he's growing up. He's becoming an adolescent. And like most parents, you don't want him to grow up. So are you going to tell him, don't grow up? Oh no, try hard, use your willpower and don't grow up. But look at you, your mustache is sprouting. Try hard or no? Don't grow taller and bigger. Your voice is breaking. Are you not trying hard enough? Use your willpower. Try. Use your willpower. Don't grow up. Would you say that? No, you wouldn't. Because you're sensible. You know it's his hormones. And you know no matter how hard he tries, his willpower is not going to win over his hormones. When we see an overweight or an obese person, subconsciously we all have a bias, even though we ourselves may be overweight. Somebody is just a little heavier than us, probably just 5 kilos heavier than us, but we think they are lazy. We have a subconscious bias, it's ingrained in us. And we think bad of them, we think less of them. And why is this? Because if you want to reduce weight, you should eat less and exercise more. So if you're fat, it means you're eating much and not exercising enough. You're being lazy. And you're eating too much. So you must be bad, right? This has become a worldwide culture and belief. And we think that a person who is overweight or obese has a character flaw. You're not trying hard enough. You're not doing enough. Try harder. Use your willpower. And like many problems which can be solved but haven't been solved, we blame the victim. It's your fault that you're fat. It's your fault. And what are the victims doing? They are trying harder and harder. They are trying to eat lesser and exercise more. They are exercising more and more and more. There are gymnasiums all over the place. And wherever you see, people are exercising. You see people running, you see people walking, you see them going to the gyms, walking on the treadmill. You see them cycling, you see them running marathons, banging their feet on the hard concrete or tar and impacting their knees. They're just trying so hard. And they're also trying to eat less. You see people having such small portions on their plate, eat bird-sized quantities, pecking at their grains like birds and counting calories all the time. And they're not able to do it. And their willpower cannot hold on for long. And at one point it crashes and they end up eating more than they intend to, more than they want to, more than the calorie counter tells them to. Then they feel guilty and they try to compensate. And how do they do that? They try to exercise more. So this conscious cycle of trying to exercise more, trying to eat less, failing at it and being shamed. There is just more shame, more guilt, fatigue, tiredness. You're trying more and more but you're feeling guilty. And you think you're not doing enough. And you're just tired. You want to give up. Because you're fighting a losing battle. And just like the boy, the adolescent boy that I quoted at the beginning, you cannot win over your hormones. Obesity is a hormonal problem, not a character flaw. And while adolescence and adulthood are inevitable in life, diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease are not inevitable. They can be avoided. The only way we can win the battle against obesity and other inflammation-related chronic sicknesses like diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease is not by fighting against our hormones, but by working alongside our hormones. What hormones are we talking about? Hormones like leptin and ghrelin play a role in regulating hunger and satiety. But the causal hormone for fat storage is insulin. An excess level of insulin is what causes obesity in a majority of people. An excess of insulin leads to creation of fat and a storage of fat. An excess of insulin leads also to non-accessibility of stored fat. In simple language, this means you're making new fat and you're not able to use old fat. This is what an excess of insulin does to you. And what causes an excess of insulin? Foods that are high in carbohydrates. To understand this easily, watch our videos, What is Fasting, an Explanation, and Fasting, Insulin and Weight Loss. So what can we do to change this hormonal imbalance that causes obesity? The solution is not eat less, exercise more. The solution is to pay attention, is to change what to eat and when to eat. What to eat? You eat foods that are low in carbohydrates and high in fats, also known as LCHF, low carbohydrate, high fat, or ketogenic foods. When to eat? You will eat fewer times a day if you eat the right kind of LCHF foods. The common advice is eat smaller meals more times, more frequently, 5 or 6 times a day. But when you eat LCHF meals, you will need to eat fewer times a day, probably 3 times, or if you get fat adapted well, you'll need to eat only twice a day. So the important thing is to pay attention to what to eat and when to eat it. When you eat LCHF foods, you will need to eat fewer times a day, and this will lead to a lower levels of secretion of insulin. You won't feel hungry, therefore you won't eat high carbohydrate foods. You won't be eating often as well. Problems related to inflammation caused by insulin resistance like diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular disease, hypertension can be reversed or prevented if you pay attention to what to eat and when to eat. If you are having any of these problems, take heart. It does not necessarily mean that you are a lazy or a greedy or a gluttonous person, that you have a character flaw, that you have a discipline problem. Understand that this is an hormonal imbalance, and I encourage you to take steps to correct this hormonal imbalance by changing what you eat and when you eat it. Best wishes.